facing the Thunder. Rockets looking to advance with a win, but that win would have to be earned, and Chris Paul wasn't going to let that happen. CP3 had 28 points, 14 in the fourth quarter. That, along with Russell Westbrook's 7 turnovers, including a couple of costly ones late, proved to be the difference in this one. OKC pulls out the win. They force a Game 7 Wednesday night. All right, Broussard, was this game more about CP3 being clutch, or was this about the Rockets wilting under pressure again late in games?
It's a tough call, Jenna, because both factors were huge. And mainly, you say the Rockets wilting. It was Russell Westbrook, period. Then now, if you want to blame Mike D'Antoni for going to Westbrook late, you certainly can do that. But get this, Westbrook sat for 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. When he was in the game, they were outscored. They were down 6 points, I believe, when he went out. And when he comes back in, the Rockets have a lead. In 3 minutes, the Rockets outscored OKC 12-3 to take control of the game. Westbrook comes back in, and the rest is history. We know he has the 2 late turnovers. He misses a layup, misses a jump shot. But I got to give the credit to CP3. Chris Paul was fantastic. He sat 37 seconds in the fourth quarter, and OKC was outscored 5-0. So they got him back in pronto, and we saw him take over for the game late. He's clearly got a chip on his shoulder against these Rockets, and this is the key to Game 7. Chris Paul staying aggressive. In the 3 wins for OKC, he's averaged 27 points. In the 3 losses, he's averaged 17. It's not so much about him missing shots or Houston defending him well. It's about him taking shots. He needs to be aggressive and look to be a scorer, not just a facilitator. If he does that, OKC has a good chance of winning.
I kind of disagree with that last point, Broussard, because I think those numbers are skewed by the fact in their losses, they've been blown out the gym. And Chris Paul all year has been a guy who takes a disproportionate amount of his shots in late game situations. And it's why the Thunder, to Brandon's point earlier, have been the best late game, close and late team in the league. And Chris Paul's been one of the best close and late players in the league. It's indefensible for the Rockets to be in this position. Their 3 wins, they've blown out the Thunder. Their 3 losses, first loss, they're up 5 with a minute left. They lose in overtime. Second loss, they're up 13 late in the third. They end up losing that game in regulation. And then last night, they're up 6 with 4 minutes left with the ball with a chance to advance, and they allow the Thunder to go on a 12-2 run. And everyone's going to kill Russ, and justifiably, for how he played in the final few minutes. Had an air ball, had a missed layup. You can show the compilation of it. It's all bad. Had turnovers 6 and 7. But I want to be fair here, because everyone knows who Russ is. And one of the, I think, fair knocks on Durant when he and Russ were playing together was, if in late games you don't trust Russ, then go get the damn ball from him. Then you know what? You're the guy. Go and that was a criticism I had of Durant when everyone was always killing Russ. Durant can demand the basketball, and James Harden can do the same thing, man. Like, I understand Harden also is not historically great late and close, but in playoff games. But this is a chance to rewrite that history. And Harden was having a good game, has not been out with injury, is not on a minutes restriction. And Harden's got to be more of an active participant in his own fate, if you will. So I know everyone's going to kill Russ this morning, and it's deserved because he played really poorly. But James Harden also needs to go get the basketball and have that game at the end, Brandon, run through him for good or for bad.
Yeah, Nick, this has nothing to do with them. This has everything to do with the Thunder. I mean, all year, we go back to the trade, CP3 for Westbrook. We didn't even think that CP3 was going to stay there. We thought this was going to be him demanding his way out and moving on.
Yep.
All year we've been saying this team is not good enough. But what have they done game after game after game in close moments? They've just gone 30 and 15. CP3 only just has 150 buckets. Like, come on, man. Like, CP3 is leading in these moments. And we've seen this game after game, and nothing has changed in the bubble. So, Chris and Wiles, like, I'll throw this to you guys, but to me, this is all about CP3. It's about his leadership, and it's about how he demands greatness in these moments. The only thing that has challenged this guy or held him back his entire career in the playoff moments has been his hamstring. Like, go back to when he was playing for the Clippers. It's been his hamstring, not his game, not his leadership. So, Wiles, I'll throw this to you, but to me, this is all about CP3 and this team.
Look, we know that Chris Paul is a perennial all-star. We know that off the court, he's the president of the Players Association and has done wonderful work in the bubble. But he earned a new accolade last night, Broussard. That was first team Kevin Wilde's All in Your Head award for two of the most disrespectful plays I've ever seen on a professional basketball court. The first one is hitting this shot and smacking Covington on the fanny.
To tie the
so
game.
if you see this happening, you know what I would say? Hey, if I was the coach, I'm like, you know what? Covington can't cover CP3. You know why I know? Just smacked him on the fanny as a nice present. And then the second play is he's a very fundamental player. This is not a fundamental way to line up when you need the basketball if this shot misses. Staring at down James Harden. It's insane. After the game, Harden was asked about this, and Harden is great in those All-State commercials, but he's a terrible actor because he tells the reporter, "Oh, I didn't even notice that." You didn't notice it? You're one of the smartest guys in the NBA, and you don't notice Chris Paul staring at your face? So congratulations, Chris Paul. All first team Kevin Wilde's In Your Head award. I'm going to send it to you in the mail in the bubble.
It's personal.
Go ahead, Broussard.
Hey, Nick, this is personal. This is personal.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Go ahead.
You're right.
No, I'm just saying it's personal. You know, he was out last year. Like, this is personal.
Clearly.
This is going to look so bad for the Rockets if they lose this series. Because, I mean, the guy that you traded would have been the one that beat you. And so this is going to be a tremendous game. I hope it's close. I mean, here's the thing. If it's close, you give the huge advantage to OKC.
Right, that's the thing is, if it's close, the Thunder will win, and that's the problem for Houston. Go ahead.
I just want to say to what you said earlier, Nick, because I thought that was a great point about you go to Durant and late games with Russ. One of Kevin Durant's big problems in OKC was, you know, Russ is a stronger personality. So Durant was looking at the coaching staff saying, tell this dude to give me the ball. Durant wasn't going to do it himself. He thought the coaching staff should do it. I think it's similar in Houston, but here's the problem. Mike D'Antoni, we know he hates confrontation. He is not about to get in Russell Westbrook's face, even nicely, and say, let's go to Harden at the end of the game. But that may be what he has to do if this thing is close.
And one of the reasons I am maybe partial to Russ, and throughout his entire career, is I feel like you know exactly what you're getting from him. You can't. His level of effort does not wax or wane depending on the situation. His level of intensity, his level of attack. He is an amazing competitor, but that also makes him at times his own biggest enemy. And he and Harden do have a great relationship. And even if he doesn't think Harden's better than him, though Harden is, he doesn't think Harden's worse than him. He won't be insulted by the fact if Harden tries to go get the ball from him, especially when he's coming off an injury. And for James Harden, you guys are right. Like, this is a guy that I've argued you can make the case is the best player in league history without a championship, that at least is on that short list. But he don't want to be on that list. And he certainly doesn't want to have his first